Hi guys, it's Mariana from MyOCore, and today I'm going to be doing a 24-hour readathon. So I don't know which vlog I'm going to upload first, but this video is kind of like a two-parter. So I'm doing a 24-hour readathon, and then I'm also reading books off of my Libby for a week because, well, first of all, I only read from Libby, so I don't know why I'm going to read off my Libby for a week because I literally only read off Libby. But I have 16 loans on Libby, so I'm trying to make it through my 16 loans. So 3 of those books are the books that I'm going to be reading. So I'm going to be reading YA contemporaries for 24 hours. So I love old 2017 YA contemporaries, and I ate them up. I read them 2 years ago, and I was lit. I had the time of my life. Bitch. They were so fun. So I decided I'm gonna try new age YA contemporaries because I think that would be so fun. I'm not really a YA girl. I do love black YA contemporaries though. That is one thing I do really enjoy reading. So I decided to just give the genre a try because there are some books that I have been looking at that I think will be interesting that I've been wanting to check out for a while. So I just decided okay, let me just read these really, because I like contemporaries I can read super fucking fast. So it's let me just read these really quick. But I decided to do a 24-hour readathon because I go through phases, and so I you guys know I go through my reading eras. They come and go. Some last a day, some last a week, some last a week and a half. And so I just decided I'm just gonna get through these because I have so many books on my Libby that I need to also read. So I'm gonna do a 24-hour readathon and also a week-long reading vlog, reading my Libby books. So today my TBR is What's Not to Love, which is an academic rivals to lovers, which I love that genre. I love academic rivals to lovers, but I haven't read a lot because most of them are YA, and whenever I see YA I kind of just run the other way. But that means I'm missing out on so many academic rivals to lovers. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read it and we'll see how I feel. And then I also have This May End Badly, which I don't even remember what this is about, but I'm obsessed with the cover. And then lastly, I have A Disaster in 3 Acts, which I don't remember what this is about, but I wanted to read it. And I want to add a black YA contemporary, but I wanted to have one that was a 2023 release. And I only have found, I think it was Reggie and Delilah's Year Falling. But I read a book by the author previously and I didn't love it, so I don't know. But I might add a black author to this because I love YA black authors. I've been I really want to I miss reading YA, and I know that I don't really love YA, and there's a lot of YA books that I usually read the popular ones and I don't like them. So now I'm just trying to branch out and read a bunch of different YA. My Libby is just filled with YA. I'm just gonna give a try because I miss it, and I just feel I'm missing out on so much, and I want to love YA so much. I hate that I don't like YA, and I hate that I'll see a book and it'll be this is YA and I'll be oh, gotta avoid it. I hate that. So this is my year of falling back in love with YA. I don't care, bitch. Okay, I don't care. So yeah, that's my TBR. I just want to let you guys know. I'm probably gonna go read my first book for my other vlog. So if you watch this one, you're gonna watch my other vlog. I'm sorry to tell you. You don't have to do any. You don't have to, but you have to. So I'm gonna read the other book for my other vlog, and then I'm gonna start my 24-hour readathon after I finish it. It's currently almost 7 a.m. I did go to bed last night because a lot of times I just be up. I did go to bed last night, but it's almost 7 a.m. so I'm 50% through the book. But right now I'm watching Lala, so I'm gonna finish that up. I'm gonna read my book, and then I'm gonna start, and then I'm gonna focus on you guys. So filming 2 clips back to back is so funny because it's just I kind of have to repeat myself a little bit, but not really. But anyways, so yes, I finished Happy Place. I ended up giving it 3 stars. You can go and check out the other vlog to know my more in-depth thoughts. But yeah, I'm about to get started on What's Not to Love because it's academic rivals to lovers. Okay, so I am behind. Luckily, I only picked 3 books. I do have a book that I'm thinking of reading, but luckily I picked 3 books because I am so behind. Like, it's already 3 p.m. and I'm just 100 pages through the book because I keep getting on Twitter because The Little Mermaid is premiering in London right now, and so there's a bunch of like photo shoots of like Halle Bailey, and it's just so cute, and I just like, I'm loving it so much. And so I'm like refreshing my Twitter, like hoping there like be new pictures of like everyone like on the carpet, but ow. But yes, so I'm reading What's Not to Love, and y'all, why am I actually kind of having fun so far? So basically, this book is like a rivals to lovers YA romance book, and it is about these two characters who like are academic rivals, and they are both trying to get into Harvard, but because of the school that they go to, like it's very rare that one person even gets into Harvard from their class, so they're kind of like fighting for to get into Harvard, and like their principal is just so sick of them. Everybody's sick of them. The principal, the teachers, like everybody's like, we are sick of y'all. So the principal sticks them together, and they're like, okay, I want you to basically, how do I word this? They want like host, create, basically they like to do the class reunion for like another like class, like a previous graduated class. And so whoever like plans it the best or some shit, like if they cooperate or something like that, they'll get the one of the other students who is currently in Harvard like to talk, to like put in a good word for them basically, which like will help them out so much. And so I read a lot of reviews, and a lot of people do not like how much they're like academic rivals to lovers, like they're saying they're like really toxic. And I don't know if it's because I watch a lot of teen dramas, or because I don't know if it's because I watch a lot of teen dramas, or because in my teenhood I spent a lot of time on Wattpad, and this is basically a Wattpad book but without a bad boy, that like I'm kind of just like used to it, like it's not a problem for me, like. And then in my mind, because I read so much romance, I'm like, oh, he's saying this because he's secretly in love with her. Like, oh, and then honestly, he might not even be doing, like, he might not even realize that he's in love with her. Like, it might not even be like a boy falls first trope. But like in my mind, like in the early in the, like the first few pages of the book, she gets sick and she has to like go home early. And so because they have the same classes, he ends up having to take her homework, and she's like, oh, like why'd you bring it to me? And he's like, well, I didn't do it on purpose, like the teachers asked me to because we have the same classes. And then in my mind I'm like, no, he volunteered. And it might not be the case, like I kind of just am writing that myself, but like I don't know, I like academic, this is kind of like, I like toxic. I'm trying to be like, oh la, la, la. I like toxic. Let me be honest here. I don't care. It's just a book. It's not that realistic. So I'm having a little bit of fun. I see myself giving this like a 3.5 star, a 4 star. And then the book that I want to read is, it's called like The Weird Kind of Something. I'm like tired as hell though. Like every time I try to go to sleep, I'm like, I want to eat. And then I'm like, no, like then I'll eat. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm like, no, well, I want to read a little bit. And then I'll end up on like Twitter. So that is how this is going for me. Okay, so the Wrong Kind of Weird, I want to read that, which looks like this. Kenya from Lily Reads read this a few months ago, and it actually was on my TBR before then, and then she gave it 3 stars, so I took it off my TBR because like even though I don't mind giving a book 3 stars, like sometimes I don't want to read a book that's just okay. Like because I'm always reading books that are okay, I'm always looking for books that like I'm gonna love. But honestly, like if this book is just okay, like that's fine by me. I think it'll be fun to read anyways, so I'm thinking of reading that. And then I'm also thinking of reading this book called, I'm also thinking of reading this book called Queen Bee. But this book has a hold, so I probably won't read that. And then also I'm thinking of reading, I know you're probably like, damn girl. I'm also thinking of reading this book called The Recipe for Moving On. And I simply want to read this because it sounds like a Wattpad book. It's about this girl who like boyfriend breaks up with her, and then he like, I think he breaks up with her and end up dating like her best friend, and then she somehow ends up getting involved with like the artsy boy and the bad boy, which like that was my favorite. I'm always searching for a book that's gonna bring me like my Wattpad trope, because the Wattpad tropes were like very like particular to Wattpad. So whenever I see a book that like gives me those feels, I have to read them, even if it's not even like actually that. So one of my favorite tropes on Wattpad was the, as we all know, I love the trope of like the only girl in a group of guys. And so my favorite trope specifically would be, and this will happen a lot, so basically the best friend would stop being friends with the main character because she wanted to be popular and they were losers, and so she stopped being friends with the main character to go hang out with the popular people, and then there would be like these like bad boys in the school that everybody either wanted to be with or was scared of, and the main character would somehow end up becoming friends with them, and like the ex-best friend would be jealous. And so even though that's like not exactly the same plot, it sounds like the same plot to me. So I want to read that as well, but I'll read that like I can only read that as a reward if I get through this book. So basically I gotta get my ass off Twitter. I might not even take a nap today, which is like, oh my gosh, like what? But honestly, it's no point in taking a nap because I'm gonna go to bed early anyways. No, I kind of need a nap though. I usually don't like film from this direction, but I just do not feel like, I have like a pile of clothes on my chair, so whenever I film I have to take the piles of clothes off. I also didn't feel like taking my scarf off. I like fixed it up for y'all a little bit, but this is the best y'all are gonna get. But so I'm currently reading What's Not to Love, and I just got 50% through it. I think it's really fun so far. I think they're really cute. Like, I know, like I said, a lot of the reviews, people were like, oh, they're like so toxic. I find it funny and entertaining. Personally, I don't care. I think it's hilarious. So basically their principal had them, so like there's a scene where they're, so since the principal had them like planning out this 10-year reunion, they were like at this hotel, and when they were at the hotel, the person at the desk thought that they were getting married, and they're like, what, we're not, we're in high school. And they were like, I don't know, I just thought that was like so funny. And then there's also like I think the parents are interesting. The parents definitely ship them together. Like the parents are always like, oh, like, you know, like what about that boy Ethan? And then the main character, her name is Allison, she's always like, what are you talking about? And they're like, she doesn't know how to drive, which I love because I don't know how to drive, so I really resonate with that. And like she just doesn't want to learn how to drive, and like her parents are like, oh, if you learn how to drive, like she like wants to like, she was like, oh, if you learn how to drive, then you can do this and you can do that, and like you could go to a boy's house. And the dad, like, that remind me of the parents from Easy A. Oh my gosh, yes. Because the dad was like, yeah, like you go to a boy's house. She's like, what boy? And then the mom was like, you know, a boy. And then they're like talking about Ethan. And I just think that's so funny. And I also love, like, I haven't read a YA book in a long time, especially a YA contemporary. So you know, like back in the day, you know, parents used to not be around. Okay, so I love how involved the parents are. I think they're absolutely hilarious. She also has an older sister named Jamie, who is 7 years older than her, and she graduated a long time ago, and she's back from college, just like staying with them, trying to figure her life out. And yeah, so there's also this part in the book where they were at this bonfire, and Allison is like talking to Ethan, and she's like, you're obsessed with me. He's like, yeah, I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with destroying you. And I was like, oh, this is so good. It's so good. So yeah, it's just like, it's a little long. Like I'm 200 pages in, so I'm 50% through, so I have another 200 pages. So I'm probably either gonna finish it or take a nap and then finish it. But it's like, what does a YA book need to be like almost 400 pages for? Because it's 394 on my Kindle. What does a YA book need to be almost 400 pages for? Like, there's really nothing going on in this book for it to be that long. Like, I don't know, the plot line is just like, to me, subpar. Like, it's not like honestly, I kind of really don't care for the plot line. I don't hate it or anything. I'm just like this is nothing fun. Like, they're planning a reunion. That whatever. And also, she's learning how to drive, and with the person who's teaching her to drive, she's also teaching Ethan. And I don't know, all they do is talk about each other, and they just obsess over each other, and I just think it's so funny. And yeah, I just kind of I wanted to like I don't know, I guess I just wish it was like 50 pages shorter, maybe like a 70. I just feel like it doesn't need to be 400 pages long, but I don't hate it or anything. Y'all know me, I just hate, but it's also a YA book, so I'm pretty sure I'm flying through it either way. So I'm probably gonna finish that once I wake up from my nap. But yeah, I'm having fun, and I was not expecting that. I just wish that like I stopped playing around on Twitter and I really got into reading, and I really wish I went and took a nap, because this is gonna take up like 3-4 hours of reading time, which I could have been reading a book. But I only have 3 books picked, so those are the books I'm going to focus on, and if I want to add the other books, then I'll add them. But I should be able to finish them by tomorrow. I don't know, my sleeping schedule has been weird. Like, I've been sleeping a lot. Like, I will take a 4-hour nap, be up for like 3 hours, and then sleep for the rest of the night. So my body is just freaking tired right now, and for what reason? All I do is lay in this bed like the grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But whatever. It's 1 a.m. I literally just got back from hanging out with my friend, so I did read What's Not to Love. I finished it, ended up giving it 3 stars. And then I'm gonna start the next book while I get ready for bed. My cat is being super clingy right now. But yeah, What's Not to Love, I ended up giving it 3 stars. Like, it was just fine. It was cute. I liked it. I will recommend it to people. Personally, if you don't mind toxicness. I didn't think they were toxic. I thought it was fun. That's just me. But yeah. Now I'm gonna start whatever the next book is. I don't know. Okay, so I started, this may end badly. I started last night. I read a page, and then I knocked the hell out. Okay, so I started it, and at first when I was reading it, I'm like, I think like 60 pages into it. I was gonna update it when I got to 100 pages, but I was like, I'm gonna get up and eat. I'm like 100 pages. What? So at first when I started it, I like didn't really care for it all that much. I'm like, oh, okay, like whatever. But the more I'm reading it, the more I'm kind of like fucking with it. It reminds me of a Wattpad book. And also, by the way, when I say something reminds me of a Wattpad book, 9 times out of 10 I mean it as like a term of endearment. What I really mean by that is that it reminds me of my childhood, my teenhood, because I spent like all of my teen years reading Wattpad books. I didn't read like regular romance books. The only regular romance book I read was All the Boys I Loved Before. Other than that, in high school I was reading John Green. So when I say something reminds me of Wattpad, I really just mean it reminds me of like when I used to read YA books in high school. And by YA books I mean Wattpad books. So yeah. So it's about this girl, and she goes to this all-girls boarding school, and they have this all-boys boarding school that's like a rivalry, and they're always like pranking each other. And then one day the schools end up like coming together because they can't afford to be separate anymore, so they merge. And there's this guy, the main character is called Doe, short for Dorothy. Don't know why the author gave the main character this old ass name, which is ironic because my great grandmother's name is Dorothy. Don't know why she gave her that old ass name. And the love interest name is 3. But I kind of like their banter. Like, at first I was like, I didn't really care. But I kind of fuck with their banter for real. Like, I can't lie. Like, it's so good. I think there's gonna be a fake dating plot, which like I'm kind of tired of fake dating right now. But I already started it. I literally just said I was done with fake dating, but I did not know it was fake dating. If I knew it was fake dating, I wouldn't have read it. But that's also what I get for not reading descriptions. I just so happened to be like, what the fuck is this book about? And then I went, like, while I was reading it, then I read the description and I was like, well, damn, I already started it. That's it for this update. I'm gonna go finish reading. I'll be back at the 56. Oh, I also want to say that I'm gonna be extending this 24-hour readathon because I don't know why, but I just haven't really been reading. Like, I mean, I've been reading, but I haven't been like Mayana reading. So it's already like my 24-hour readathon is over, but we're gonna keep this party rolling. Okay, we're gonna read my last book and then we're gonna end it. Also, my last book, which is like a disaster in threes, I think. I thought that book was, the main character was Asian. I just assume any character on a book with brunette hair is Asian. And I was like looking at the author and I was looking at her other books and I was like, oh, that was so kind of her to write one book with the Asian character. And then I really looked at the character like on the book and I was like, this is not an Asian person. So I thought I was gonna have like one diverse book in this my damn heat damage, oh my gosh. I thought I was gonna have like one diverse book in this reading vlog. Nope. Nope. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna finish eating my food and then I'm gonna read. Okay, so I am now 50% through the book and I think it's like okay. If it was gonna be like a fake dating book, I was gonna be like, okay, like that's a little annoying, but I'm gonna still read it. It's probably still gonna eat. No, it's not even what I thought. So I thought she's gonna be fake dating her rival for some reason. No, she's fake dating her rival's cousin to make him mad. And I'm like, do you know how much it would have served if she was fake dating her rival? But she's fake dating her rivals. And like, her and the rival have such good banter. Like, if their banter wasn't that good, then like, I wouldn't have cared. But it's the fact that she's fake dating his cousin. So it's kind of just like, girly pop. I don't care. Like, they're not serving. They're not serving like her and the rival. But at least I can say that at least she's fake dating and gonna fall in love with the guy with a normal name. His name is Wells. Unlike the rival, which his name is 3. So yeah, I'm gonna take another eating break and then I'm gonna finish this book and then I'm gonna start my other book. I'm hoping to finish Three's a Disaster before the sun goes down, to be honest, because I want to get back to my Libby TBR because that was the plan. I was supposed to be done by 11 and on like my next book, but no. So I finished, what the hell is this book called? Oh my gosh. This Might End Badly. I want to say What's Not to Love So Bad. I already read that. This May End Badly. I finished that. I ended up giving it 2 stars because I just thought it was like really boring. I don't know why I read this book. I kind of set myself up. I think I just wanted to read it because the cover's pretty. I've been looking at it for some years now, you know, and I was like, I've been wanting to read it for a while. And so it's just like, I'm not really into the pranking thing. It just reminded me of like my Wattpad days when there would be like prank war books, and I just was never into it when I was a teen, and I'm not into it now. And I thought that I could be, but it's like, I personally in real life think that pranks are childish. Like, I don't like pranks. Irritate the hell. Like, I tell people all the time, like, do not prank me because you're gonna be we're both gonna be upset. Okay, I don't like pranks, so I just did not really like the book because it was mostly just like them pranking. I did like the whole message of like sisterhood and friendship and things changing, and also I didn't care for the romance. I didn't hate it, but it was like, in my mind, I thought she was gonna be with the 3 guy, and then she ended up with Wells, and now I was like, oh. Okay, so now I'm gonna read A Disaster in 3 Acts, and then I'm gonna be done. So yeah, I can't wait to be done so I can get back to like my other reading. I am tired. I finished A Disaster in 3 Acts and I am going to be giving it 2 stars. I know I should have like updated and stuff like that and be like, oh, like I read this much, but I just wanted to hurry up and get through the book, which I didn't, because I would read like, I mean, at least I would read like 100 pages and then I would get on Twitter for 5 hours, but I just didn't feel like getting up. Let's be real here. But yeah, I finished The Disaster in 3 Acts. It is a YA book about this girl who likes film, and her best friend and she used to be friends with this guy, and he was dating her best friend, and then they ended up breaking up, and she ends up working with him to help him out with this like film thing, and she like is keeping it from her best friend, and then she's like, because she thinks her best friend, because she thinks that she thinks, okay, the main guy's name is Holden. Couldn't tell you her name to start with. That's because she kind of had a weird name, but the main guy's name is Holden. So she thinks that Holden cheated on her best friend because her best friend mentioned another girl, but her best friend never said that he cheated. She just mentioned another girl. And so yeah, so she keeps it a secret from her best friend, and she's like helping him out. They're like hanging out and stuff, and it's called Disaster in 3 Acts because 3 different like disasters happen. But I really think it was just all because of like miscommunication. Like, I don't know, like I guess it's not her fault for assuming that like he cheated on her, but like she never said that, so why would you think that? And it was also like she kept hanging out with him from her best friend, which caused her best friend to kind of act weird towards her. But it's like, why would you keep that from her? Like, I don't know, like keeping things from your friends, like I get that you're hanging out with her ex-boyfriend and you think there's like beef there, but I don't know, keeping things from your friends is just not good. But this is a YA book, but I just did not like that. And then also, I didn't like the banter between the two characters. Like, I just feel like if it was written a little bit like, and not that the book was poorly written, but like if the words were written, if the dialogue was written a little bit better, I think it could have gave. But something about it just gave childish, like it just gave like middle school comebacks. Like it gives like shady AF comebacks, you know, like it wasn't giving for real. So yeah, I gave it 2 stars. At first I was like debating on if I wanted to like upload this video or not, but like this video I feel like is really important. Like it's really important for my other vlog. Not really important, but to me it's really important for my other vlog. And also it's okay to have flops. Like I just don't want to upload this because it's a flop. Like, let's be real here. It was a 24-hour readathon, but I've been reading for more than 48 hours, almost 72. Not really, but like, girl, I've overextended my time. Like, this is the biggest failure 24-hour readathon I've ever had. And like, usually I wouldn't upload them, but I feel like someone will like it. And then also, this one didn't have any like authors. I didn't have like any authors of color. I didn't have any queer books, and I really hate that. I originally just wanted to have like those. I really hate that, because originally I wanted to like read those 3 books within a few hours, and then for my 24-hour readathon, and then I would pick out some queer and authors of color books to read for the rest of the 24-hour readathon. But I spent so much time reading that I just wanted to get through my Libby TBR, and I really regret not at least having. I thought that A Disaster in 3 Acts was a author of color, but I really regret not researching that, because like, I don't know, like none of these books really gave. And like, I love YA black YA contemporaries, and I've been trying to like read them more. So because I've been trying to read them more, and I'm saying I love it. I've only read like 3 of them, but I love it. Okay, so I do have some YA contemporaries saved in my Libby. They're all like people of color authors. No, I said that right actually. Authors of color. They're all authors of color. So I'm really excited to get through those after I like read these Libby books, which y'all pray for me because I already added some other books to my Libby, like. But anyways, if you want to see how that goes, check out that vlog that should be coming later this week. But yeah, that's it for this vlog. I'm a failure. It is okay to fail. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days, okay? We move. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.